Coming up next on Get Caught in a Net.
Get caught in a net with Annette. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with Annette. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with Annette.
You are now tuned in to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, where your hosts, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as, do Christians suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why they act abnormal? Or you may ask, what is really going on in their minds? Do you need Annette? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Hey, great afternoon, guys. Welcome to another wonderful segment of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. I'm your host, Annette Harris. I am your certified mental health ambassador. I am the CEO of Get Caught in a Net Incorporated and two-time award-winning author of that bestseller, Surviving a Silenced Heartbeat. If you have not gotten your copy, you're missing out. And I encourage you to go to my website. You see it at the bottom, getcaughtinnetradio.com. For those of you who are not afraid to go to Amazon, go to Amazon. We're still there. We're on walmart.com. And we are barnesandnoble.com. I know some of y'all are like, I'm not supporting. Okay, but that's where we are. So, but you can also go to my website again, as I stated before, and I will send you a personalized copy. Guys, I'm excited to be here this afternoon. We're a little bit after 12, but that's okay. We are here. It is time for you to get caught in the net. And of course, it is the fourth Wednesday of, or is it the fifth? It's the fourth one this year. This month. I said this year. And we're going to, of course, talk with Dr. Shirley Hill. She in the background laughing at me. We are live, guys, on Facebook. Annette Get Caught in the Net, Instagram Get Caught in the Net, and on YouTube Get Caught in the Net. And I encourage you when you come in to please make sure you share. You can tag individuals directly into this live feed. You can also throw up the heart, the care button, the thumbs up, if you would not mind doing that for me. What you're doing, you're pushing this out to remind others. Some may have forgotten. Some may say, I want to listen today, and they may have forgotten. So when you do that, you'll remind them. So if you would do that for me, I'm going to bring my guest in because I'm going to put her on the spot and ask her to pray us in. She's not a guest, but she's family. She looks so summery. You look very summery. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. I'm good. I can't complain at all. It's trying to get this summery look straightened out here, but
you look cute.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Can you open us up with a word of prayer if you would not mind?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Lord, we thank you. We praise you. We thank you for this platform. We thank you for this host. We thank you, Father God, for her care of your people. We thank you for her book, Father God. We thank you for the knowledge and the insight that is in that book to bless your people. We ask, Father, that you would bless this. How can I say it? That you would bless this topic on today, that you would open our minds and our understanding, that you would give us what to say, how to say it, and give your people an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying to them in this crucial time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, it's a doozy topic on today, guys. Now, I encourage you again to go ahead and share this. Join us on today. You can, again, tag individuals into it. I always say that, of course, you can inquire or discuss with us, jump into this topic with us about the actual topic title, or you can place in any questions or comments about anything that's health and wellness related, since we're on here with Dr. Hill. I always say, once you leave here, remember this is a livelihood share. You have to pay.
Question.
You have to pay. Okay. All right. So she's looking at me like, okay, what is going on with her today? I don't know what's going on with me today. What's going on with me today? Dr. Hill, we're talking today. My goodness, you gave me a topic title that was quite interesting. Why did God form man from the dust of the ground? Why did God form man from the dust of the ground? And I'm like, okay, where are we going with it? It's a very good question, though, and one that we probably don't ask all the time, I guess. What was that?
I said we do not. So I'm trying to make sure we don't get interrupted.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when you ask that question, it seems like you probably would maybe know the answer or have some idea of it. But we're gonna jump into this today and see how this is tied into, our health and our wellness. So we start off asking you, as always, how do we come up with this topic title for today?
Well, I came up with this topic because, my son, he likes to order me stuff from one of those unmentionable stores that we are not, that we are not,
Wording.
yeah, that we're not visiting those stores and spending our money there anywhere. So anymore at this time, at least. And he likes to call them and order me, order my food. Mama, what do you need? What do you need? Send me a grocery list, and then I'm going to order it and they're going to deliver it. And for quite some time, I was getting this molded food.
Oh.
Molded produce.
Okay.
And it took me a minute to realize it because it was underneath. When you looked at the top and looked at the plant, it looked perfectly fine.
Okay.
But then in examination,
Mm-hmm.
looking underneath, yes, and there was mold.
Oh, wow.
So the first time I kind of let it go, but then it happened about 3 times. And I was saying, okay, God, what is going on here? What is this with this moldy produce? And I remembered that some of our food is being grown. Holy Spirit reminded me that some of our food is being grown in water.
Mm.
And so think about it. What happens when your roof leaks and it leaks down your wall, the inside of your walls, into your basement or through your, bedrooms, your closets and all of that? You get mold.
Yeah.
You get mold from that water. And so now I said, okay, let me research this a little bit and see what's going on here. I don't want to be falsely accusing them. And sure enough, one of the first things that popped up was that one of the difficulties with this type of growing is mold.
Oh.
Because it is grown in water. The seed is produced and grown in water. And so not only that, but because of the water, if those that are growing it, because I also heard several of my clients, we were in our talking and whatever, they were saying that they were considering growing their own food. And I was saying, great, because me, a few years back, I started saying we needed to start growing our own food, even if it was in large flower pots. And so they were saying that they were going to grow this food. And I said, okay, we think this is like taking seeds, throwing it in the ground and watering it once a week. And I looked into it, knowing that it mows from the water, but it also said that your water system has to be pristine at all times, because especially since the water is being recycled.
Ooh.
And that if you are not careful enough, then you could end up with E. coli in the water, pathogens in the water. So the three that they named was Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli.
Okay.
And so when you add that with mold, then to me, it doesn't, it's the ease or whatever it is that they think they're getting from, we think we're getting from growing hydroponically. It's not worth the risk
Okay.
of all of this, because it says even once you get rid of, because the water is being recycled and reused, it is so easily for pathogens to be, introduced into the food cycle. And so I said, okay, let me see see what the benefits are of food growing in soil rather than it growing in water. But I said, God first, he made man first, and he took his physical body out of soil. And it wasn't just some dirt, but he was specific, very specific in the soil that he used.
Okay.
And that was the dust of the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the science says that the dust of the ground is topsoil. And that topsoil is the most nutrient dense soil that there is out of all the layers of soil.
Okay.
And that would mean that God made man's physical body out of nutrient dense soil. And that would explain why he then put us in a garden, because the plants that he said would be food for us, they would have come out of the same nutrient dense soil. So that would, our eating that nutrient dense soil would perpetuate that the nutrients that the body needs, and it would continually continually recycle that process in the physical body. And we wouldn't have to go anywhere. We wouldn't have to do anything but just, step right outside our condo and pick us an apple, or,
Right.
whatever was in that garden. And so I was very interested to know if any of your audience had knew what hydroponics was and had considered either getting hydroponics, shopping, or let me put it this way, considered the fact that when they go shopping, they are more than likely getting hydroponics.
Now, let me, if I can interject this, because I want to look this up. I had never heard of it. I saw your text.
Yes.
It hydroponic? Is that?
Yes. Hydroponic foods, the hydroponic grown foods.
Okay.
See it?
I've never heard of it. So Dr. Hill just asked the question, have you guys, what was it that, have they purchased it? What are we saying?
Have they heard of it? Are they aware of the hydroponics foods? And have they considered either growing or eating it, and incorporating that hydroponic food into their meals?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna put this word up, guys. I'm looking. The reason I'm distracted because I'm pulling it up on the internet, but it's spelled hydro, HYDROPONIC.
Yes.
Okay, hydroponic food. Have you guys heard of this? Okay, so I'm going to put that up, and yeah, I want to hear about this today. This is quite interesting. And thank you for your background. I love how you give the background of how you come across these topic titles. That was definitely very interesting because I have, and matter of fact, was it just the other day? Because my husband, you know, he does grocery shopping. That's our house. That's our business. Okay, so he does. Right. I'm being like Tabitha Brown. That's my business. So he goes grocery shopping. So he went and he purchased, you know, he loves to get, you know, all the fresh, the organic, the seeded, you know, fruits and vegetables. So he loves grapefruit. He loves grapefruit. Like, oh, I can't.
So do I. Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. That's not me. That's not my ministry. I'll do it a little bit, but but anyway, so he purchased some organic grapefruit. They were in a bag, seeded, and he went to go and open up the bag because he was going to get some out, you know, go and do his grapefruit eating. And towards the bottom of the bag, there were some that were molded. And I was like, oh my, you just purchased that, didn't you? He was like, yeah. So of course he wasn't too happy about it. But it reminded me of what you were mentioning about, you know, some of the products, the groceries or whatever that your son would have delivered. And you saw at the bottom, you know, some of the mold or things. So that it reminded me of that. But yeah, so hydroponic food. You guys that are on here now, I see you, Mother Whitfield. Is that it? Yeah, she says, good afternoon, get caught in the net, and Dr. Shirley Hill. That's my name. That's right. I think I did see Janice Pritchard on. Thank you for coming in. She says, liked and share, and I appreciate you. Again, guys, you can share this feed out on your page if you would not mind doing that for me and tagging individuals in. That way we can get some interaction with you guys. And again, if you have questions about anything related to this topic or health and wellness related, you can ask that in the comments section and we'll try to wrap around so that we can address it for you. So again, the question on the floor was hydroponic food. Have you heard of it? And that's what Dr. Hill is talking about now. And you can go back with that.
Yes, another reason you know, of course, you know, I deal with sick people, right? And so the main basis of their returning to health is the repair that they get from the foods that they eat.
Right.
And so they cannot afford to eat foods that do not have. Now, remember that soil, that the dust of the ground was nutrient dense soil, and not just nutrient dense, but the most nutrient dense layer of all the layers of soil. So then if you're eating plants that have not even seen, smelled, know what soil is, then they don't have that antioxidant nutrient density that's in the soil. They don't have any of that dense, any of those nutrient dense food substrates that is in that soil, because they have not been produced in soil. They haven't grown in soil and matured from soil.
Okay.
And so what you are eating is something that looks good because they're very attractive, you know, when they haven't yet molded. they look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And so and we're eating things that have no nutritional value,
Wow.
which means we have no protection. We have no protection. We have nothing to activate the regulatory systems in our bodies. We're not eating anything that has the enzymes in them that facilitate things like the healing that takes place when we go on the fast.
Right.
That occurs on the fast, that healing and that repair and that restoration and that rejuvenation that takes place on that extended fast, that at least 3-day fast. It is because of the nutrient dense food that you ate before the fast to prepare the body for that process.
Mm-hmm.
And so then if what you're eating before the fast is not nutrient dense and does not have the enzymes and all of that that is needed to carry out that healing, rejuvenation, repair process on the fast, then you're being absolutely diseased. That's not the word that I'm looking for. You're being deceived.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and your body is going to, whereas on the fast, your health should spring forth speedily. You're not going to get any speedy health. It's not going to spring forth speedily, nor is it even going to spring forth slowly, because that was needed, the materials that was needed to activate that process. The foods that you ate during that preparation period,
Mm-hmm.
it did not have what your body is going to need on the fast to carry out that healing process.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so it is disconcerting, to say the least. I heard someone say yesterday, of course, on one of those little clips on Facebook, they were saying how the report is that the ports in America, in the United States, all of our ports are becoming empty.
Mm.
And they have no, the truckers that are going down to the ports to drop off whatever loads they have and expecting to replenish those loads to bring them back to where they came from, that they're waiting sometimes several, many hours or even several days without getting loads because there is nothing in the ports.
Wow.
And so this woman was saying, stock up. She was saying, stock up on your foods and those things that are needed because, because there is going to be a difficult. Can you hear me talking?
A little bit. The buzzing was, I didn't hear a lot of it. You were saying something about with the ports, there was nothing for them to take.
Yes, there's nothing. And so that means that the foods that normally come in, that's picked up at the ports and taken to the stores, that process will not take place.
Right.
And so if we're going to have to grow our own food, or we're going to have another method of getting food, hydroponics is not the answer.
Okay.
Now, it may appear or seem to be the easiest because you're recycling water. You're only recycling water, and then for your nutrients, I think they're using some type of fish. The nutrients that they use has to do with fish. I don't know if it comes from fish or if it's for fish, but we do know that we are not fish.
Right.
And so that food, it would not be adequate to maintain life.
Mm-hmm.
And so we already know that we're in a dilemma. We're in a dilemma because most of the other food we have is genetically modified.
Okay.
And so, and the difficulty that we have there is that we don't know that things like bananas are supposed to have seeds.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Bananas are supposed to have big black seeds. Now, not like the seeds that we have in the watermelons.
Okay.
But those little bitty, you've seen those little bitty dots or those little bitty white things going down the center of the bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Those are supposed to be seeds.
Hmm.
And so we have been eating seedless bananas now forever. Because most Americans have never seen a banana with seeds in it.
I know. I don't think I have. I cannot say that I have. I'm today years old learning that.
Well,
Wow.
the only reason I know that is because from being in the Bahamas and being in Africa and
Okay.
being in Haiti, because their food, they only grow organic foods.
Mm-hmm.
All of their food is grown out of the ground and it is organic.
Right.
And so it grows and looks the way it's supposed to. And imagine my surprise when I opened up this banana and there were these these 2 rows of black seeds going down the center of these bananas. And so most of the food that we have they have been denatured. If not completely, at least to a certain extent, because the seed of the plant regulates blood sugar. And look at how many Americans and their children have diabetes. And so then if all of the food or none of the food that they are eating contains the seeds that regulate the blood sugar, they're going to be at a deficit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so are we. And so then this new, there's just been an attack on real food. And that is because food is actually our medicine. That's what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
But what has occurred is that food is either our medicine, or it can be or it can be weaponized. It can be weaponized for us or weaponized against us.
Okay.
And that we're finding now that most of the food that we have, and then we're a little guilty because if it is real food, we pop it in the microwave and nuke it, or we put it in the fryer, the air fryer, on extremely high heat.
Mm-hmm.
And that extremely high heat, it changes the nature of the food that has been placed in there.
Right.
Yeah. And so we're really at a dilemma. Did you have something?
I'm still trying to understand the hydroponic concept. So, because like I said, today's my first day hearing of it. So I was trying to look it up as you were talking, but you were saying that this particular process is not good, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Do you understand why it's not good?
I was catching bits and pieces of it, but I think I need to understand it a little bit better.
Okay. Now remember that food originally, in its original state, seeds from God's own hands, it was grown in nutrient-dense soil.
Mm-hmm.
The nutrients that we get from our food, it comes out of nutrient-dense soil. If there is no soil, there are no nutrients. And so, and then we become more and more deficient. Yeah, and we become more and more diseased.
Yeah.
And then we have more and more decline. So death, we don't die because we grow old. You know how it used to be, these are diseases of the aged. They're diseases because everybody, when you get old, you just get these diseases and you die. That is not true. These are diseases of these are because of deficiencies. It is because, so then we need 3,000 to 5,000 enzymes daily. Now that's a necessity. It's a necessity for health. But I'm eating foods that contain no enzymes. Right. And so I'm not going to decline because I'm getting older. I'm going to decline because I have no enzymes and I have no antioxidants. I have nothing to regulate these processes because I'm going to eat something. These things I'm eating sugar, every now and then those cookies that cause us to have that sciatica pain that they keep telling us is we need an operation for in our back. And it's nothing but the inflammation that is caused by the sugar and the meats that we're eating. And so we're eating, if we're eating nothing but these foods that have no nutrients and have no enzymes, our body has no help against the things that are detrimental and cause disease in the body. Did that make sense?
It did. It did. Okay. So then I was trying to also make sure of the connection with that and the growing of our own food as well. Because, okay, hydroponic foods, and you guys that are just not joining us, again, this is Health and Wellness Wednesday. I think I'm getting my own lesson taught today. Health and Wellness with Dr. Shirley Hill, Mopheth Nutrional Svcs. And so today we're talking, her actual topic is, why was man formed from the dust of the ground? And so as we're talking today, if you have any questions or comments related to that or anything else health and wellness related on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, please go ahead and throw it into the comment section. We do appreciate those of you that have come in, the names that I have called, those that are coming in. Hi, Buddy Gill, thanks for coming in. And Minister Gloria Gooden, thanks for coming in. We appreciate you as well. So this is what we're talking about. I think did I see Gina Gatson? I think you're here. I think I saw your name. But if you please, if you're here and I haven't called your name, go ahead and throw a comment in. That way I'll see your name as it pops up. So yeah, the relation to the hydroponic food and growing. So I was looking at something here as I pulled up hydroponic, right? And the question asks, are hydroponic vegetables healthy? And this answer says that they can be as nutritious as those grown in soil. And in some cases, they may be even more nutritious.
So I'm glad you did that, because we don't know that when we look at for information on the internet, we always have to take into consideration who and where the information is coming from.
True.
Have they been paid money to steer the listener into to a certain pathway? Are they selling a product? Are they trying to get a new product on the market? And so you will notice that one of the things that's often said, I listen to these commercials and I get tickled and then I get mad at the same time. because they're telling, they're saying things like, you don't have to worry about all of these meals, or chomping down all of these salads, or all of this kind. Just take this pill. Just take this this pill that has this combination of such and 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 such. But the pill doesn't have the cofactors that go along with it. It's the cofactors that make the nutrient it gives it the ability to do what it is that it does.
Right.
And so because each one of the enzymes that we have, those 1,200 enzymes that each cell makes by itself, well, they have, if I'm not mistaken, each one of them have at least 100 cofactors.
Oh, wow.
Like minerals and those type of things. Well, all of that stuff that it has, where does it come from? It comes from nutrient-dense soil. It came from that topsoil. There was a reason that God took man's physical body out of the same soil that he grew that he said for him or us would be food. And that's a genetic thing.
Okay.
Because the plants that grow out of the soil, they contain the nutrients, all of the nutrients that's in the soil. And so those enzymes and antioxidants and all of those nutrient-dense things that the physical body needs, when we eat those things that grow out of the soil, then we get those nutrients that is in the soil by way of those fruits and vegetables that came up and out of the soil. And so when our diet consists of foods that are nutrient deficient, that have never seen soil, that don't even know what soil looks like, feels like, none of that. It's been in a bath all of its life in water, and recycled water, and then sent to the store to be sent to our homes, and or my mind keeps saying organic, but non-organic foods. Let me say that. GMOs, like genetically modified foods.
Right.
So when you combine the hydroponics with the GMOs and we've been eating genetically altered foods since Mendel first took that first plant and spliced it and combined it with another plant in the same species, but yet it was another plant, which meant that they had different qualities, properties, and nature. And so when you change the properties, the quality, and the nature, then you change the functionality of the food.
Yep.
And what it was intended, what God intended that food to do, or gave it the ability to do in the body, it can no longer do it, because all of those properties and regulatory systems and whatnot in that food, it has been altered and it has been changed. So, yeah. So those pretty red tomatoes, when we look at them and, we see the commercials all on television, and they say, which one of these foods, the cucumber, the banana, or the tomato, which one causes you joint pain? Okay, we vilified the tomato, but it's not the fact this beautiful, perfectly round, perfectly red tomato has been grown and genetically altered to be from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When Mendel first messed with it, it was altered to be perfectly round and perfectly red. And so it's not the tomato, it's the alteration of the tomato.
That's
And
right.
so, yeah. And so our children, I don't know if our children have ever really had real food.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is deep and something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Oh, Dr. Hill come here and make us think. And then we get off of here. We just want to drink some water.
Yeah, I got people that say tree bark. Dr. Hill, she's gonna have us eating tree bark.
Right. After a while, right? Hey, but you know what? I think you'll be the better for it if you eat that tree bark. Hey, listen, there's a comment from Buddy Gill. Every time I listen to the good doctor talk about our foods, have mercy, he says. But he says, thank you, Dr. Hill, and he loves you.
You're welcome, buddy, and I love you too.
Yeah, I tell you, it'll make you think. But yeah. So why did God form man from the dust of the ground? And guys, as you're listening today, again, you can throw in your comments, but don't just listen, do take heed, to what Dr. Hill is saying. So back on the, I don't know what route you want to go, but I do have this question for you. So back on talking about, I'm hearing a lot of people saying now that they want to grow their food. They want to start. And, you mentioned, some years back that you said we really need to start doing that. What advice, what would you give, those who are looking to do it, maybe those who thought about it but are hesitant to do it? How would you encourage them to?
Well, this is going to sound real bad, but this is a transparent moment.
Okay.
I may not be the person that you need to ask that question.
You ain't got to love us some Dr. Hill, right? Okay, who can you refer us to then? How about that?
I do suggest that you find, there used to be, and before COVID, we had in the city of Chicago every summer, we had a food, I'm trying to see if I can remember what the name of it was, but what occurred during this convention or conference or whatever it was, the organic and sustainable farmers of Illinois came together and let's see, funders, they had people there that funded people that wanted to start farms.
Oh,
yeah. They had the gamut. It was wonderful. And then they had food producers, those that made things like organic ice cream that had none of the stuff in it that, ice cream had in it. You got all of the ingredients. I learned at one of them that sustainable farms are actually better than organic farms.
Oh,
yeah. And because their practices are more rigid. And we have, okay, so this is real good. Thank you. One of the first places to start, if you want to get into soil and growing food, is your farmers markets.
okay.
Yeah, make a friend. make a friend. Go to the farmer's market, make your purchases. Matter of fact, I live at the farmer's market during the summer. I cannot wait for the farmer's market to show. And I talk. I'll get one of my grandsons to take me, and I'll be there. We'll be there for hours because I'm talking to each one of the vendors, finding out what they do, finding out how they grow their soil. Is it organic? Is it sustainable? Do you allow groups of people to come out to your farm and watch your process and see what you do? Do you give classes? Do you have tutorials?
Mhm.
Now we do have, and I'm trying to think of the name of them. Because did you ever come to the tent when we were on 69th and Wood, 59th, and was somewhere over there?
No, ma'am.
We put a tent up for 9 years. Okay. There's a viaduct that ran east and west from Halstead, I think, back to maybe Western or something.
Mm.
And you didn't know what was behind that viaduct. Well, an organization came out there. I don't know if they bought the land or whatever, but they started growing produce on that land. And then they built a hot house.
Okay.
And then they built a 2-story building in which they started teaching farming practices and how and what to do if you wanted to start farming. And you don't have to have a lot of land. They're still there.
Mm-hmm.
They are still there. They still have the farm. They still have the classes right there on, I believe it's either, it may be 59th and Wood behind that viaduct, or that might be 69th and Wood. But whatever the case may be, if you get to Wood and you turn right or you turn north, whether it's 59th or 69th, you'll just have to have, no. It is just north of that viaduct, just north of that viaduct. And I will look on my email and get the name of, and get that to you, so you could, your listeners or viewers today, they can come back and look in the.
Okay. So it's still in existence. It still exists.
Oh yes. They're going very strong.
Oh,
very strong.
Minister Gloria just put up, she said 59th.
Oh, thank you, Minister Gloria. See, that's my go-to. That's my go-to.
Good. Okay. All right. No, I didn't know if it was that it was still in existence. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
That's good information, guys. You can grab hold of that and check them out if that's what you're looking to do. Because I know, like I said, I've seen a few individuals, people I know personally that have started. And my husband has been talking about it too. So that might be something that, you guys that are listening, you may be interested in doing, because we think the time is coming where we're going to have to.
The time has come. Time has come.
That's true.
Is Minister Nicole Burton, is she on by any chance?
I just tagged her. I'm not sure if she's able to jump in or not, but I did tag her because I know she's one as well.
Yes, she is.
And I'm seeing your daughter Brandy. She's started rather, right?
Forging. Yeah, she's forging and she loves it. And so much so until photography has just become a bygone.
Oh no, don't say that, because I got another project coming up. Please don't say that.
Listen, I've got to go to Virginia to do a workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And man, did I Randy was like, oh, I don't do that anymore. I was like, but I need. So think God had mercy on me, and she texted me back, but she made sure I understood I don't do that anymore. So
Oh my, okay. All right. I need to find me another professional photographer because I need some more headshots. Okay.
well, you know, talk to her. That's all I gotta say. That's all. I'm not encouraging you, because I don't want to get in trouble here. But I
know
do
that's
know
right.
that this
If she come back and
4
listen to it, she gonna be like, how did you guys jump off on me? But no, because Brandon, we know that you are foraging now. So that's how we got into that.
And I tell you, she thinks because I deal with food that I can deal with. She brought me all of these. She had all of these plants for me. And I'm thinking she brought me just Mother's Day. She just brought me beautiful. I think she probably bought me somewhere like 10 plants. And I loved them because she had dried them for me, and I had made things for it. And I was like, oh man, I don't ever need to be without this, you know. But when she brought the plants over, I was like, in my head, I was saying, oh, you should have bought me like 3. I don't know if this is gonna work. And so she gave me about a week and asked me how were the plants doing, and I took a picture.
You're a good one, and she's a good one because I do not have a green thumb at all.
Half of them were dead. Half of them were dead, and the rest of them are sitting in my kitchen with dirt in the pot. No plants,
right?
Because they died.
No, my God, that would be me, unfortunately. But yeah, this is really quite interesting. Knowing what we need to do ourselves with what God has created, God's creation. Taking advantage of that. And I think that's important. So what else do you want to share with us about this topic on today before we kind of wrap up?
Okay. Well, I think that we might need to start a support group. We might need to start some kind of support group where we can hold one another accountable, because we do need to change our minds and our practices when it comes to food. Because when we think about it, when we ate from the garden, people lived to be 1,000 years. Most of those patriarchs, they lived to be between 8 and 1,000 years, right?
Right.
They didn't drop down to 500 years until after the flood, when they had to eat meat to sustain themselves.
Okay.
Now, the answer to that is meat causes inflammation in the body. And so they lost 500 years from just that one process, that one practice. And so the longer we live and the more we introduce things into the body that have not been grown in a sustainable, in an organic garden, the younger we're dying. We have young people now that are dropping dead on the basketball court, dropping dead on walking down the street, standing on the L platform. We've got young people that have cancer. When my kids when they were children, there was no such thing as children's cancer hospitals, if my memory serves me correctly. What we had was children's wards.
Right.
In the adult hospitals. But to have hospitals that were children's cancer hospitals. And then in this time and season, we have more than one of these cancer or diabetes or asthma or whatever they may be caused. We have more than one children's hospital in major cities.
Yeah.
And so if we keep on this rate, and I think that we did something on this, are we destroying our future generations with a knife and fork?
Mm-hmm.
And it would appear that maybe we are.
Right. Yeah. Woo. God help us. Just help us, because we need it. We need it. And we talk about this so often and so much, what we need to change, and in order for us to, to live healthy. So much sickness around, so much. And I can't even count on my hand the number of times, individuals have passed and they were so young, and, you're like, how did that? But you explained it. You've explained it very well. You really have. So again, God help us. Dr. Hill, I appreciate you so much. You just don't know. My husband and I were just talking about you, and we're both going to give you a call, because there's another project we want to pull you in on. But we appreciate you and all that you do to help us. You're helping God's people. You're doing as He instructs, and we just pray that you will continue to walk in His will and His way, to continue to bless us. And somebody listening, somebody, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but a thought just ran through my mind, and it is, God does not violate His own law.
Mm-hmm.
And so He says, if we bring a detestable thing into our house, that we will become detestable like it.
Wow.
And so that we're eating detestable things. But what we're doing is we're eating the detestable things and then asking God to sanctify it,
Right.
make it nourishing for our bodies, or heal us from the disease that is the consequence of that we have placed in the body, the degenerative, the detestable thing that we have ingested into our bodies. So now let me make it clear. What we are doing, God has said, we reap what we sow. So then the seeds that I sow in my body, if they cause disease, that's what I'm going to sow. It's a law. All right. If it is a detestable thing and I ingest it into my body, willfully, knowingly, and happily ingest it into my body, then I am going to become a detestable thing like it. I have removed God's hands from it, because God said that God has said, can you hear me?
I hear the buzzing.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So then we become a detestable thing like it, because that's the law, and it's a law because it works the same way at all times. And
Right.
so we're asking God to break His own law.
True.
And so that's something we need to take into consideration.
Okay. All right. All right. Hopefully that helps. That was the like a synopsis or a summary of what we have been learning about. So guys, thank you so much for joining us on today, for your comments, those that have hopped in, those that will come in later to watch the broadcast, the rebroadcast. We appreciate you, those who have shared, tagged, and just joined us on today. Hopefully there was something that was said on today that will help you in your health and wellness journey. And of course, we'll have her back next month. Always Dr. Hill at the fourth Wednesday of the month is when we have health and wellness here on Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. Dr. Hill, thank you again. We appreciate you, and we'll talk soon. I bid you Godspeed in everything that you go to say and do.
Thank you so much. God bless you all.
All right. Guys, as she's exiting, I am just going to play our outro. We will be back for June, the second week in June. We will have a wonderful young woman of God who is doing a great work. She's a product of the foster care system, a survivor of this foster care system, if you will. Her name is Monique Foltz, and we will have her on because Lord is blessing her. She wrote a book, Nowhere to Call Home is the name of her book. Now, God has blessed her to write a stage play. It has been turned into a stage play, and that will occur in August. So we're going to have her on to talk about her stage play. We've already had her on to talk about her book, which the stage play is based off of, Nowhere to Call Home, Monique Foltz. So be looking out, keep an eye out for the promo for that particular interview. And again, as always, I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me on today, and for taking time out to support me, even with my daily vlog sash talk discussion, encouraging each and every one of us in our daily mental health journey. That's what those discussions are about. And again, I thank you for commenting, for encouraging me to continue on with it, because we all need a little bit of encouragement. This is what we aim to do, is to do what we can, what God has given us to help each other. All right. So we're going to get out of here. I'll see you next time. And until then, you can
Get caught in a net with a net. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with a net. It's your intellectual radio show, here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in